Welcome back to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. It is time to bring in our halftime guest, brought to you by Personal Touch Lawn Care. And what better person than Score Atlanta reporter Najee Wilkins? Najee, you got a chance to talk to both Coach Niblett and Coach Kraft this week. What do those conversations entail?
Yes, so energy, execution, and effort was kind of what Josh Niblett told me in the first half. You're not really seeing that. Say we got to take care of the football, limit the turnovers. We've seen 2 turnovers so far already, way too many penalties. We saw that convert to a touchdown drive for North Forsyth. That's been the difference. And North Forsyth side, be aggressive. And we're seeing them be aggressive, converting those opportunities, and that's why they have the lead right now, 14-7 at the break.
Yeah, Gainesville took an early lead in this game. Obviously, North Forsyth scored 2 touchdowns, has the lead now. What is North Forsyth doing right so far?
I think creating turnovers. Coach Kraft mentioned that in the half before. That's huge. 2 turnovers, and they converted each of them, and they got momentum after they scored that drive to tie the game 7-7. Went down, forced a 3 and out, went back down and scored. Touchdown pass to Logan Curry from Wes Roberts.
And speaking of momentum, what does Gainesville need to do coming back into the second half to hopefully gain some momentum?
Get the ball to Darius Cannon on the outside, number 1.
Kick it away again. This is going to be short and returnable. And big return coming out here for Darius Cannon.
Got some room.
Cannon's going to find an edge here, get around the kicker. He's got one man to beat.
What an answer.
And Darius Cannon has changed the complexion of this game. He wasn't the coach, obviously, during that time, but the program became famous because of a very different coach at the time.
Oh, wow, what a move.
How about this for
gone.
Cannon? And Cannon may indeed be gone. Made a man miss, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone for a touchdown.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Najee Wilkins with the offensive and defensive players of the game, Antonio Mulder and also Jamari Harrell. Now, Jamari had a really good game today, man. 5 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. I want to talk about the first one. You basically made a juke move. You dragged 2 defenders into the end zone, man. So tell me just a little bit about that and the strength that you use on that play.
Really, we've been practicing that play all week in practice, and I've been going against them, so it's been really hard. So basically on that play, I was just thinking drive. So that's really what pushed me to keep going, get to the end zone, and score.
You were the leading tackler last year, had 105 tackles. You set the tone today with 9 tackles. Just talk about how you're able to kind of have a nose for the football and know where to go.
It's all about, like, if everybody in the right position helps me out. So being a quarterback of the defense, it just helps everybody out. And then helping him out during the season, I'm telling them every day at practice, if they can score on the defense, they can score against anybody else.
Now, tell me a little bit about that off air. You told me, Jamari, that he helps you get better. You going against him kind of allow you to get versatility, man. So talk a little about that, how he got you better in practice.
It was multiple times at the house where he'll text me, tell me, come to the field, and we'll just go out and work. We work by ourselves, no coaches. We'll just go out and work. And really, that's what really molded me into the person I am today. It made me be more humble because I feel like before I wasn't as versatile as I am now. So he really helped strengthen me into that.
What are some goals you want to accomplish this season, Antonio, and being kind of that vocal leader of that defense?
Mainly it's just a state championship, just leading the team to be the best that we can be, making sure everybody's healthy in the long run so we can celebrate at the end.
The Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm with the Gatorade offensive and defensive players of the game, Christian Gregory and Amari Winston. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball first. Christian, man, big game, man. You were just all over the field defensively. Your coach kind of raved about how you're just relentless in your pursuit and your efforts. Talk a little bit about that and just the effect you had on the game today.
There's really not much to it other than, we get after it. There's no plays off. You going to be the best or you going to be average. So we just get after it. No plays off.
100%. And then, Amari, tell me a little bit about kind of the same thing. Your coach said the same thing. He said he has to kind of drag you off the scout team because you just always want to work, always want to get better. So big game today, 2 touchdowns. So tell me a little bit about how much you just enjoy that hard work, man, and just balling out for your team.
I feel like iron sharpens iron. Like going against the number 1 D with the Scout-O, all I can do is help our defense get better, and they help me get better at the same time.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Najee Wilkins with the offensive and defensive players of the game, Cam Robinson and Devin Akram. First and foremost, Cam, it seems like, man, any big game you always come to perform. 200 yards today, man. Talk about why you're able to play so well when the lights are the brightest.
Well, the defensive stop before halftime really gave our offense life and momentum coming out of halftime. So we just took that as an advantage, and I got the best O-line in the state, so I can't even be mad about it.
Now, let's talk about that defensive stop, Devin, right? You were a big part of that. Changed the game, 28-0 after that, man. Walk me a little bit through that play and what it meant to kind of make that stand at the end of the first half.
Well, before the play, our coaches talked about staying low off the ball.
been big thing about us, you know. So I just listened to my coach and just did what he said, got low, got back there, caused havoc. You know?
Tell the folks who don't know, 4 touchdowns today. What you worked on the offseason to kind of get where your game is, and then tell me how cool it is being behind that offensive line that gave you a lot of protection today.
Yeah, we worked really hard in the offseason. We had 5 7-on-7s. You know, we won 4 of them, and the 7-on-7s aren't real football, but it's definitely working our connection with the receivers. And then we had a couple padded camps, and our O-line was just showing out that whole time. And I mean, man, I love those guys. The big nasties, man. We can't get away from them.
For sure. And then, Wendell, man, you really set the tone on the defensive side of the ball today, right? You had 2.5 tackles for loss. You had the sack. You just sent so you was all over the ball, man. So tell me how good it felt to get out there and some of your goals for the season.
We knew there was a tempo team, so we had to do what we had to do, stay in shape. So I got back there, did my job, and it's going to be the same thing every week by week.
FreshmanCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Score Atlanta reporter Najee Wilkins, and a man who loves to disclose a lot about my personal life on air. Trusty Mansell. Najee, you got a chance to talk to Coach Hall from Oconee County after the game. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, so I just asked him, that last possession there, how was his team feeling? He told me they felt great there on that defensive stop. I asked him what really separates that linebacking core, and he told me before this game that's really the heart and soul of their team. The 4 linebackers led by Samson Stearns and obviously Whit Weeks, the commit for LSU. So that linebacker core you saw made a difference. Sammy Brown had a 30-yard run, but it was tough sledding for him all night. So that's what really made the difference in this game.
Now,